Hi, everybody. My name is Andrew Kozlov, and I would like to have a talk today at Scala Days. So, first of all, thank you for joining me today, for choosing my talk over other great ones. So, let's get it started, I guess. Um, First of all, please rate the session. I guess has an application installed on their iPhones or Android, so you are warmly welcome to use it. Okay, and the first thing I'd like to talk about is who am I and why am I standing in front of you? Uh, as I mentioned, I'm Andrew, and I've been a JetBrains employee for like several years. I used to work on the OpSource project previously. It's our code review tool. Does anybody use it like me? So okay, you are warmly welcome to use it during your work. Here are my Twitter handle, email, GitHub account. So if you'd like to reach me directly, you feel free to do it. Okay, and I'd like to make a little survey just to warm up, since I had presented myself to you. So I would like to be more connected with their audience. So the first question I'm dying to ask is, what your everyday IDE? Uh, okay, the first option is IntelliJ IDEA. Okay, that's the correct answer. Yeah, Eclipse, NetBeans. Okay, yeah, some of you. Moving forward, Enzyme. Okay, Sublime. Okay, and my favorite part, VIOE Max. Oh, okay, well, yeah, it was brought to my attention that nearly 18 to 90% of Scala developers use IntelliJ, so it's cool. Uh, and my next question is, does anybody use Slideband Reactive Platform? Yeah, I guess you're quite familiar with that, but the question is more like, I guess most of you know Akka and use it, but the question is more like, do you use the platform in its entirety? So is anybody using the whole stack, like all of it, play and Akka and all the stuff? Okay, then Akka only. Okay, myself included. And the third one is nope. Maybe for those of you who is just curious about some JetBrains news and stuff like that, it's completely okay. Okay, so most of you do use Akka, like I guess every day, and that's why you are here. So my presentation is supposed to be more informal. Uh, there is a big live coding sessions and whatnot. So let's go straight to the code. Show me the code, as Linus Torvald said once, and now we are already in the IntelliJ IDEA. So, okay, everything is working fine. Today I'm going to implement a very, very simple table tennis application, and I'll show you the latest features of the IntelliJ that were supposed to make it easier. And let's get it started. Okay, let's implement a class named player and let it extract. Oh yeah, there is a little window on the bottom, and it says what shortcut do I use right now. So it's a very interesting point for a presentation mode. So okay, actor. Okay, now we can implement a simple receive method, and there is our actor. Okay, what we're going to do next? We're going to create an actor system. Okay, let's try to extract a variable. Now it says system, actor system, and unit. Okay, but it's not very interesting because sometimes you have your values named. Okay, name, for instance, table, because we are playing table tennis. So now we're going to extract it, and there is a suggestion using the name of the actor system. The feature is that if there is a parameter called name, it could be used as a suggestion for variable name. So table, I guess, table system is okay. Now what we're going to do next, now we're going to create an actor reference to some player. Okay, what we're going to do, table system, actor of, props, import props, then class of player, and okay. Yeah, it's a bit boring, I guess. And let's add something like a name to our player. Okay, val, name of type string. Now an inspection had appeared, and it says that appropriate actor constructor not found. Well, what's the problem? Does anybody know? So if you were going to run the application, I'll show, there would be an exception because the player could not be properly constructed. And it is very, very bad for a typed a language like Scala. And now we're going to add some parameter. Okay, I don't know, Alice. And everything is okay for our code. Let's try to change the signature to something like add. Okay, we added a parameter, and now there is another bug, but inspection works fine. Appropriate constructor not found because there is no constructor matching those arguments. Okay, let's make it working. Okay. Now, what is the best option to create props? Oh, not maybe the best, but quite useful. We can generate a companion object, and what everybody used to do is like writing def props name string prop, and I'll not do it by my hand. So okay, I can do something like create a corresponding factory method. Oops. Excuse me. Nice. Okay. It's a live coding session. Jesus. No, it's clean. Okay. Okay. Let's try to do it another way. A bit later. Okay. Let's write it by my hand. Something horrible happened. String props, and now props, and now we can write something like that here. Okay. Another inspection had appeared that this expression could be replaced with a factor method call. We can do it like that because now there is a factory method defined in the companion object. And there is another one inspection that dynamic invocation could be replaced with the constructor invocation. That means that it's completely safe to call the constructor directly if you're inside a companion object. So replace, and we can call the constructor directly. So it's first of all, it's more simple, and moreover, it doesn't invoke some dynamic stuff or some reflections and stuff like that. Okay, let's try to add another constructor like dev this, I don't know, name integer, this name to string. Okay, let's try once again. Okay, something. The vector method is still generated, so it generates another call, another constructor call with a parameter of type integer. Okay, now we can try to use it. Something like, I don't know. We're going to check it once again, class of player and with a parameter 42. And it says that it could be replaced with a vector method call, and we could replace it. Yeah, another thing I'd like to say that sometimes you may think that an inspection is not good for you. So I don't know. Well, for an instance, you prefer that kind of syntax, not the one with the factory call. So everybody needs to know that any inspection could be disabled, like inspections, disable inspection. Oops. Okay, let's go to Jesus. I don't want to have a talk like do not have I don't like the problems that Martin had yesterday, but okay. Okay, let's not try doing it right now. Okay, I don't know what the problem is. Oh no. I have never seen problems like that with IntelliJ. Let's try to kill it. Okay, everything is possible during a live coding session. I'm sorry. Oh, that's nice. Okay, I'm gonna implement it once again. Okay, now we're going to make it Alice. Okay, and now we can add a parameter name to our actor reference called Alice, and now we have a player with the name Alice. Okay. Since it's a table tennis play, we're going to create a message for our game, and it is going to be named ball. Okay, we create a case class named ball with a simple parameter count of type integer. It is going to be increased every time one player hits a ball. And we can create an object ball and define an empty ball 0. Okay. So the next thing I'd like to show you is type usages, new type usages for Akka messages. Okay, everybody is used to writing code like this. Ball, I don't know, to match, case, ball, placeholder, okay. For an instance, list of ball. It is completely insane to write code like this because actually it couldn't be this kind of code couldn't be reached, but you can still produce a code like this. So let's try to find usages of the message ball. Let's click Alt F7, and there are two usages here and here. Okay, of creation and oh, yeah, and two extractors here and one here, and what's the and two usages of the method apply here and the one here. Okay, let's try to pass ball to our receive function, and we'd like to pattern match over balls to write something like that, ball. And let's find usages once again, and there is another usage type. It's called receiver position, and it means that a ball could be received by such an actor, by an actor player here. So by the way, we can still write the code like list ball, okay, placeholder, but that is not going to be a receiver position. It's still an unapply method because receive function does not receives here the ball itself. So it could receive only list of balls. So you can write something more horrible like that, or I don't know, like ball or something of type string, and every of that would be, yeah, there would be two received position here, one here and one here. Okay, let's move forward to another position. There are ask position and sender position. So one is supposed to write something like sender. Well, we're going to hit the ball back. It is going to be implemented like sender, exclamation mark, ball. Okay, count and count +1. Okay, let's find usages once again. And IntelliJ says that there is one send position here. Okay, I know that technically it's just an apply method. So if we, for an example, extract it, so it would be a regular apply method call. But here we could interact with that directly. And so now we know that an actor player could send messages like of type ball. It applies to stuff like tell as well. You can still write like that. I don't know, self. And for forward as well, I know, ball 0. So let's try to find usages once again. So, and there are 3 send positions. Here, one here, one here, and one here. All 3 of them were found. Okay. Let's do something more interesting. There is yet another usage type. It's called ask position, and it is used for ask pattern. Okay, let's write something like sender.s, then double click, and have you mentioned that Akka pattern ask has been imported? So it is, as far as I know, very useful. So that's the only import one is usually writing in their code. So, and you can put a ball here. Okay, and let's try to find it once again. Send position and one ask position here. The same rule applies for like question mark. Okay, let's try it. 0. Stuff like that. Send one send position here and 2 ask positions, one here and one here. Okay. We had support. We have implemented support not only for ask pattern, but there was a feature like you were able to write something like that as J, oops, yeah, as Java, and a converter could be imported. Now we had, the problem is that we are not able to search all the implicits through all the scope because it could reduce the performance so great. So it is an awful idea. But we know some particular cases like converters for collections, like ask patterns for actors, and even you can now write something like that. Timeout 3.sec. Oops. And import seconds from the duration package. I guess it's quite handy. So let's use it. Okay, now we're going to another feature, and I'm going to open another file. That's basically the same table tennis game. There is two players, Alice and Bob. Bob, he's the ball first, and there are two implementations of players. It's just for an example. Of course, the receive methods looks exactly the same. Just one prints pink and the other prints punk. But that's only for an example. The idea is that once a message of type ball is received, some of the two messages, either ping, either pong, is printed, and then the ball is hit to another player. So it's quite simple. So now I like to check once again. Okay, and we're going to debug our application, table tennis application. There are two breakpoints, as you. Oh, okay, yeah, timeout implicit. Yeah. There are two breakpoints here. One in the first player receive method, and one is the other one. So we'd like to debug our application. So, and what we can see is something like a regular multi-threaded application stack trace. It's not very handy. Yeah, okay, run worker, run task, stuff like that. And nobody, well, there are people who do understand the idea, but not not all of them. So you can check threads, but it's not very simple. So okay, to another one first. Yeah, that you can see on that line that now it's a second player, now it's a first player, and then they swap each other. So, and we see in the console that ping pong play is being played. But it's very hard. Sometimes it's very hard to understand what's going on by that stack trace. So there is yet another feature of the latest IntelliJ builds. So let's go to settings. We go to build execution deployment, debugger, and the feature is called async stack traces. It is not, yes, the interface is not good at the moment. It's going to be replaced somehow, but now you can add, I'll do it right now. You can add two XMLs. I'll show you later how to get them. Then mark all of them enabled, and let's try to debug our table tennis application once again. So, okay, now the stack trace has been reduced. So there is a main function. Now we are in the second player, and we can debug through our application using only one stack trace, like it's a one-threaded application. Moreover, here you can see on the you can see a variable that ball has count 4. Okay, next step 5, 6, and stuff like that. So it's also has been printed the console. Okay. There is yet another option. You can. Where is that? I guess I need to exit presentation mode. And there is a button, capture local variables may greatly slow down the execution. I'll try it. Okay. Presentation mode once again. And let's debug our application once again. And now all the variables has been stored. So now you can see, for an instance, a variable count, here 1, here 2. Let's move forward. Okay, 6. Ball with the count 7. And it is very useful for multi-threaded applications debugging. So let's stop our application. And now I'm going to show you how to reach those XMLs. It's a temporary solution. It is going to be replaced, but now you need to go to the JetBrains account. There is a repository on GitHub in the JetBrains account. It's called Capture Points. There are several XMLs and a description, a small description how to use them. And there are 2 useful XMLs for Scala and Akka developers. One is called Akka Scala. It is used for actors, capture points for actors. And the Scala one is supposed to be used by, I guess, regular Scala developers because it operates with the Scala concurrent future capture points. Yes, it is also, we now we produce support for Java 8 futures like that and some other multi-threaded platforms. So there you can reach the repository from our blog. It's called. You need to Google about async stack traces, debugging in IntelliJ, so you're going to find these steps on our blog. So, and this one repository. Okay. So feel free to use. What about builds? Everything, every feature I have shown you is or is already available, excluding just one. It is imports for implicit stuff. It's going to be merged this week. It is developed, tested, so it's going to be released like this week, or maybe the next one. But everything else you can try just right now. Every feature related to Akka is available in Ultimate Edition in our Scala plugin. It's a part of it. And async debugger stuff is available in just a regular IntelliJ Community Edition. So feel free to use it. So once we are going to refactor some of the interfaces for async debugging, Akka related stuff is going to be distributed inside the Scala plugin itself. Okay, now let's move to our presentation once again. Okay. And I would like to tell you something about our roadmap as a plugin. In the next release, we're going to implement some Akka-related features. We're going to support Akka typed. I guess you heard the news. We're going to make you, well, the main idea of IntelliJ is to make you spend less time debugging, less time Googling, struggling through Stack Overflow website pages and stuff like that. So there would be additional inspections that could reduce the time you spend on developing programs. And what are we going to do in general? As you may have heard, we are working in several directions. Recently, we have started working on Akka, on Scala method. We constantly trying to improve our SBT support. The latest feature is SBT shell. I guess everybody has seen it in our plugin. On the other hand, we are going to do more particular stuff. Like, I guess we're going to release one day a standalone distribution of IntelliJ with the Scala plugin bundled. We are working on Dati, and we try to make our plugin support any dialect of Scala. There are several dialects, as you know. Dati is one of them, and yeah, that kind of abstraction could give us an opportunity to support even Scala, like with K. I guess you have heard the 1st April Day joke. And even, yeah, I don't know, but maybe not of you could understand the word on the right. It's Scala in Russian. And the joke behind that was one of my team members when Scala was released by John. There was a question on the Stack Overflow about does IntelliJ support Scala with K, and could one use IntelliJ for that? And one of my teammates answered to that that we're going to support Scala in Cyrillic because JetBrains is mostly a Russian company, so most of the developers are Russian, and we're going to create our own dialect of Scala, and we're going to write in Cyrillic. So I guess that's all I'd like to tell you about today. So please remember to rate the session in your application. And I guess it's time for your questions.
Sorry, I missed the beginning, but is there any Akka Java support?
No, still no Akka Java. We are going, yes, it's one of the roadmaps of the IntelliJ, but not a Scala plugin part. So, but I guess I would become responsible. I would become a guy who is responsible for Java Akka support in the basic one edition. So, but obviously it's going to be released some days, and first features like inspections are going to. I guess they're going to be implemented in the nearest future, like before the new year. So yeah, I know it would be great, and we are. We're not working on that, but we have some plans. Yeah.
You told something about determining the sender of a message.
Yeah.
Is there also plans to build something like a hierarchy view, like you have for objects or for classes that extend each other, to show which actor sends messages to whom.
Oh, no, I meant that we are going to support something like that, an opportunity to determine who had sent that particular message. So I guess it would be implemented like one of those usage types. So to determine, yeah, I guess everybody knows that the main problem is that actor could replace its receive function, but somehow we could support it somehow. Yes, we cannot do it in the most general way, but yeah, you know the 80-20% rule. So I guess we would cover 80% of that. Okay. Okay, I guess then thank you for today. Have a good conference. Goodbye. You can reach our team, me and my team members at our desk, JetBrains booth. So see you. Okay. Bye.